Alrighty. So what's going on, everybody? Welcome to our first Take Two podcast with our special guest, RHCrew. How's it going, guys?
What's poppin', guys?
What's up, guys?
What's good, guys? What's good, everybody?
Doing great. Very much looking forward to this. This is like our first podcast ever we're having here, and it's just really cool. I always wanted our first special guest to either be you guys or someone else from the crew before anyone else, and I'm just really happy we were able to do this.
Of course, it got to be these guys. Of course, it got to be these guys. Fuck everyone else. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, no, I appreciate you guys having us on. It's a pretty big honor. You guys have been doing some good stuff on this channel. They've been reacting to Team 4 Stars Helsing Abridged.
Yeah,
and God, that's like my favorite series.
Yep. Like Shorty and I, we have a lot.
Fantastic.
This is one of our favorite things that we have in common.
Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, Reuben talked me into that series, and I'm just like, okay, I know a little about Helsing Abridged, but it has become one of my favorite abridged series of all time. That is extremely funny. And if you guys saw, well, we have yet to put episode 5, but that got so serious that I almost got choked up. I did not expect that to happen in an abridged series of all things, but I digress.
Yeah, it's really good. Their voice quality is top notch. Like, it's
Absolutely.
so good. Like,
Absolutely.
Even the accents too. It's just so crazy. Like for an abridged series, like wow.
Oh, their accents are perfect.
Jokes are on freaking point.
Absolutely.
So good.
I think about to say fleek, but okay, that works too.
So I'm curious, non-spoiler wise for Ivan, what is your favorite episode of the Helsing Ultimate Abridged?
Oh man, that is a damn good question.
I will say episode 1 because I'd watched Helsing. And so whenever I saw Abridged, I was like, Abridged? I was like, all right, dude, I laughed so hard. I mean, I thought I was going to die. I was like, oh man, this got me so hyped up for whatever else I was getting ready to watch.
Yeah.
So episode 1 would be my favorite, I think.
Right on.
I think mine's episode 2 when they attacked the Helsing organization.
That was great.
That guy,
I love that one.
Brother cracks me up because he's all like, all right, skull fucking for everybody. Come here, ghoul.
I'm just gonna keep making more holes to fuck.
Gotta fuck every hole you've got. I shoot the other testicle. I'm like, whoa.
That was make a reference to Epic Mealtime, and he's like, "Welcome back to Epic Mealtime. I'm the sauce boss."
Yeah,
this little vampire wannabe fuck.
Even just the title of like he's actually watching Adventure Time, and they edited it so well.
That was really good. I was like, is he really watching Adventure Time in the actual series? Like, that's how good it was.
No telling.
Yeah.
Jeez, that was good. So,
and then of course they gave us the epic line of "Bitches love cannons."
Yes,
bitches love cannons. Yes,
straight up.
Even I think it was episode 4.
Yeah, it was 4.
Referenced it again. After like Alucard referenced it again, like bitches love
cannons.
Yeah, it's the sensation of sweeping the nation.
That's right.
Oh, I freaking love Alucard.
One of the funniest episodes was one that kind of stuck out to me was I think it was episode 5 or 6 when they did that London Bridge is falling down thing. I don't know why, but that part just had me dead. It was so corny. Like, that's what I really got out of these guys is that they're really good at making really corny jokes sound absolutely funny. And I still ponder to this day, why was that so funny? And also, because there was a point where she like, you're really going to shoot a 22-year-old girl. And as I questioned if she was 22, they literally asked if she's really 22. I was like, thank you. That was funny.
Guten Tag, can you please pull over?
What? Yeah, that was good.
Alrighty. Oh man, that was funny. I didn't expect the person to go on.
Was that boy girl bugging you? Was that boy girl bugging you?
Just a little bit.
We don't make beautiful children. Okay, that's enough.
Okay. So, as always, at the end, we'll try to do a little Q&A if you guys have any questions for us, or even questions for our special guests here at RHCrew. And I didn't expect for us to go on a little rant of a Helsing Ultimate Bridge, but that was fun. That was funny. I'm glad
it really was, yeah.
So, get this out. The first question started. The first actual part of the interview. Our first question is, how did you get into the podcasting business, Shorty?
Yeah. Okay. So obviously we've got like a close group of friends, the RH crew, and you guys have seen some of them. You know, like Monk and former co-host Jay and Chopper and Damon and Trunks, and there was a while where we we didn't all hang out on a regular basis, but we still kind of talked, but like to each other individually.
Yeah, like maybe late 20s.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And one day I was talking to former co-host Jay, and I was like, you know what, we should make like a joint Facebook page where we can just like invite all of our friends, and we just all talk and hang out there. And he was like, yeah, someone should do that. And so I was like, all right, I guess I'll do it.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of hinting for someone else to do it. Yeah. I was like, all right, whatever, I'll do it. So I made a Facebook page and like got everybody back together, and we were talking, share stories there. And
yeah, like, hey, what was your best memory about so and so? And they would never, like, you or Jay would never ask like about me. Like, it would be about so and so, and be like, you'd hear these outlandish stories that maybe somebody wasn't there for, or you maybe had forgotten about. And everybody would cue in and just be like, "Oh, that was so great," And it was the beginning of the podcast that you guys came up with.
That kind of became the next logical step after that, because we would do like fun little games and stuff on the Facebook page. Like we'd have what did Jay call it, Music Match Monday?
Yep.
Where he would pick somebody and we'd have to come up with like songs that reminded us of that person or something we did with that person.
Yep.
I did Tall Tale Tuesday, where I'd make up fake stories about people.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Once that stuff kind of ran its course, it was like, okay, well, a Facebook page is like, it's got us all together, but it's not that lively anymore.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, why don't we just get everybody in a room together and we can just say that stuff out loud, and like everybody could tune in and listen to it. Maybe even people we don't know can tune in and listen to it.
Yeah, which we ended up getting some people we did not know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how it got started.
That's cool. And that
he and Jay.
Yeah, he and Jay, and then Duke kind of just was like, I'm pretty much quote unquote. What's the position that you guys say I'm in now? That Duke was. That was like
guest in chief.
Guest in chief. That one. So that's what it was.
What it amounted to is he and Jay would have just an audio podcast every Saturday. And I was probably, I don't even remember what episode was I even invited in on.
The first one you were there for, it's either episode 5 or 8, I believe.
Yeah, somewhere in between there. Okay. And I remember coming, and dude, I remember just having a great time and laughing and just like reminiscing and stuff. It's like, and it was just nice being around these guys again, because dude, I had gotten in the way. And in between all of this, I had a whole nother life outside of he and Jay and a few of the other guys really stayed in contact. And, they were in a bowling league together. I wasn't there for that, man. I was deployed. I was gone. I was in other states. And then it wasn't until I came back, and then God, it was whenever, was I still living in our hometown? No, I wasn't living in our hometown whenever you invited me out. No, I moved outside.
Yeah.
And so, and then I remember getting the invite and coming in, and then, Shorty's like, well, hey, if you're busy on the Saturday and you're not doing anything, would you come over? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then it just became like an open invitation. Well, at least I assumed it was an open invitation. I don't know if it really was. I took it as an open invitation. A lot of folks don't know this about me, but I kind of invite myself to things.
No, it was an open invitation.
That's funny.
And so I remember coming in and do the RHCrew games was the best part about it. I mean, I lost a few of those, but I got to watch a few other people lose. and so, I was just like, dude, like anytime we didn't do one, I was really sad about it. Like I was like genuinely like, oh man, that's too bad, because
I want to see people suffer.
Him and Jay, like a lot of people don't know, I've known Jay since I was 5.
Wow.
That's a long time. He's my oldest friend, and I've known Shorty since I was 13.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah. So, that's I mean, people don't know how old I am, but that's a minute back.
That's like that's a big bond right there, honestly.
40.
You don't know him for that long, like that is awesome. That's cool.
He has not liked me that long, but we've known each other that long for sure.
He didn't like you for that long, but you just known each other for that long. So I guess that counts for something, right?
It does for sure. It does.
I will say that's a huge it's like a once in a lifetime thing where you have a friend that literally sticks with you from childhood all the way to your late adult years. That's a very rare thing. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Well, I've seen it, but not to the extent of I've had a friend who actually had friends like that lived for that friends for that long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's I think I consider that a blessing. I really do because not a lot of people can get that.
I do too. Like I look at my mother. She's I get a lot of my personality from her. And she has one friend named Leslie, and I've known Leslie since the day I was born.
Oh wow!
And I remember whenever my stepdad passed away, and I remember being very, very sad. And then Leslie showing up and actually, like trying to lighten the mood and be happy. And she brought me food, which is another way to make me happy. And so like she's like the epitome of like a real true friend that my mom has. And that's it. She's got one friend. Her and Leslie still talk to each other, but she doesn't have any other friends but Leslie and family, and that's it. And so like I see that, and I don't know, man, I've always kind of like seen myself, like I look at my family and I don't quite fit in quite a few ways. And so like with Shorty and Jay and Monk and God, everybody else, it's like an extended family, I've known these guys for forever. They accept me for every stupid damn thing that comes out of my mouth and for the flawed person that I am. And, you can't expect any more out of that. I mean, like that's something that family does. That's not something that every friend does. That's something that family does.
Yeah.
And so, like it's nice to have that, and I feel really blessed to still have these guys, in my life.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. I can 100% attest to that. Well, I don't know. I haven't known you guys for as long, but the feeling is still mutual in that sense. So yeah. And actually, when you talked about the podcast, that actually led to our second question. Unless you want to keep going.
No, I was done. I'm ready for another question because I was getting snappy.
All right. So our next question.
That's fine.
You want to read it?
Yeah, I'll read it. We'll alternate questions.
Yeah.
So the next question is: how did you feel after posting your first episode of your podcast?
Ashamed, embarrassed, regretful.
I wasn't expecting that.
Me neither.
You had the explosion?
Yeah. So I was hoping to find the audio clip, but I think I must have deleted it to make room on on my hard drive. But on our very first episode,
it should be on Patreon though.
No, this was something I had to edit out.
Oh,
I used to keep all of the unedited episodes and then also the edited.
Right.
And I think I had to get rid of a lot of the backlog of the unedited stuff just because it was taking up room. And I was like, well, nobody's listening to it anyway. But so we listen to the stupid cheesy intro music we used to have. And I introduced myself. Chopper was there and introduced himself. Jay introduced himself. And so I was like, all right, so what's up, guys? And it was kind of crickets for a minute. And then Jay was like, well, it's just real hot outside and everything. And I stopped the show right there. I was like, we're like 10 seconds in. I don't want to start off a show talking about the freaking weather.
Right. That was funny.
I was just thinking that too. I'm like, is he trying to be a weatherman? I was thinking.
Weatherman. It's gonna rain.
I was like, that's the quintessential boring conversation icebreaker. Like, whoo, it sure is hot outside. It sure is. But yeah, and it was like anything that could have went wrong did go wrong. Like I had the memory card that I was using. It ran out like halfway through the first episode, so I had to take everything and put it on the computer and then wipe the memory card and put it back in the recorder we were using at the time. Pickles had taken the kids and left because we were recording out of the living room of my old apartment. And so I was like, she left with the kids to kind of keep things quiet. And she wasn't real happy about that anyway. She was like, what am I going to do for like 4-6 hours? I was like, not my problem. And, she was like, well, just don't tear anything up. And I was like, okay.
No promises.
Yeah.
And right off, somebody opens a beer, and I've never seen this happen before, but it exploded when he opened it, and it shot straight up, all up the wall, all over the top of the ceiling. Which is like,
damn.
It was like a 15-foot high ceiling.
Yes.
God damn. That's
That's
a lot of pressure.
Ceilings in that apartment. Whenever I heard it on the podcast, I was like, oh, that's funny, you know, thinking 10-foot tall ceilings, because that's about the average for apartments. You know, he lives on the top, on the third level of the apartment, so he has a bigger, you know, yeah. And I was like, wait a minute, that's the spot because you could see it.
Yeah, it never did like come completely clean. It was old cheap paint, of course, that they put in apartments, but so it just kind of stained it a little bit. I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, of course, everything that could have went wrong did go wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you probably when that geyser actually happened, you pretty much got that light. I'm sure you got that like light bulb effect, like, bing. Hey, I have an idea. Let's make this a drunk ass podcast, and that the rest was history, is what it seems like.
Pretty much.
It's funny,
I think it progressively got worse, and I think I'm. I really do, because I remember showing up, and I remember this is funny. I remember showing up, and I had a big paper bag full of beer, and Pickles looked at me like, "You motherfucker." I was like, what did I do? Like, I didn't know why she wouldn't say 2 words to me like the entire night. I was like, what did I do? You know,
You brought too much fun.
I did because we had a good ass night that night.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny.
That's
What the
hilarious.
heck?
Yeah, man. I feel like I'm partially to blame or maybe responsible. I don't know if it could be considered a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. But I really feel like I'm more to blame for that, because Jay would come and he'd be like, have 4 beers.
Yeah.
I'd come and be like, 2 cases, you know, like probably not the right decision. But the thing about it is he and Jay had this thing about trying beers, and I had just started to like spread my wings as far as beer was concerned. Because, you know, like it was like, you know, the 4 main food groups. You got Bud, Coors, Michelob, and freaking, Pabst. So, you know, like you had, you know, like that's like Oklahoma beer 3.2. And they're like, if I want freaking water if I just want to drink straight water, what is that saying you guys say instead of
Do what?
water in my beer? I don't know. Anyway. It's diluted. It's diluted. It's only 3.2%, you know, like you can get 6 point and better at liquor stores. And it's not something that I had ever considered.
Right.
And so these guys are like, no. Try this beer. And so then I'd find random shit and be like, I wonder if they've tried this. And I'd bring it 9 times out of 10. It's like, yeah, I've had that. Yeah, I've had that. And then every now and then it's like, oh no, I've not had that. I'm like, yay.
I think the beer I want to try is Stone Cold Steve Austin's beer brand that he came out with.
Yeah.
It's called Broken Skull or something like that. Like, I don't know.
That pretty older beer, or am I thinking?
No, it's a. Well, he's a former wrestler, and
I know that.
Yeah, he's known for drinking. I don't know what kind of beer. I think it's like an IPA kind of beer he came out with or something.
That makes sense. That's real popular.
Yeah. Yeah, he came out with his actual own beer brand kind of company, and like sells his own beer. And I heard it's pretty expensive though. You know, that's the thing.
I would try it.
Yeah, I definitely want to try it though. I want to try it.
How much is it for a bottle? Do you know?
I don't know. I gotta double check. But
Dude, I
remember
brought
hearing
over
it was pricey.
a beer that cost $13 for a beer.
What?
Yes, for one beer, I've paid $13. I think I've probably paid more. Whenever I brought over the Chimay, that was $13.
Oh yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane, but I had to try it. That's crazy. It's like, you know, why not? YOLO.
I can get a Popeyes meal for $13. That's not like, I mean, if you're big on beer, then I guess it's worth the money. But...
I could go to Arby's and get like a large size plus a side, an extra side with mozzarella sticks for $13. But the beer is a mill, and it is 9% ABV, which is insane. And it tastes so good.
Huh, that's only like $6 for a tall can.
I just pulled it up. It's called El Segundo, Steve Austin's Broken Skull IPA.
Yeah.
It's $5.99.
Yeah, I just saw that right now too. Yeah.
$5.99 for a 16-ounce can.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
One for one?
Yeah.
For one though,
that's a bit
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
$20 for a 4-pack. That's a bit much.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's much. But if I didn't give two shits about it, then okay,
I would still have it.
I guess it's fine with me.
Exactly.
Exactly.
If you're only gonna try it once just to try it, I would pay that.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you're trying it once.
Mm.
But
I mean,
then it
that's the
comes to the part.
average.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's about the average cost of like a regular beer at a bar anyway, so it's not that
Yeah,
bad.
true.
$5.99.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
Really?
exactly.
Yeah, they usually run between $5 and $7.
Do they?
Like just a regular 12-ounce beer. Yeah.
I need to keep better track of what I'm paying for whenever I go to the bar.
They get the pricey at bars, like no lie.
Yeah.
Hey.
I wouldn't know. I never went to a bar.
Oh man! All right, so let's get to the
One day,
next
Ivan.
question.
One day, come down to Oklahoma. We'll show you a good time.
All right, definitely.
Oh, nice.
I'll have to. Actually, I'm not gonna say that, but we'll see. Next question.
All right. So the next question: how did you get into YouTube?
It was once again, it was just kind of the next natural progression of the audio podcast, because there were a lot of things that we thought that we wanted to do that were just didn't fit an audio format.
Yeah.
You know, it was,
Especially the punishments.
yeah, like doing the crew game where Pickles made up shit for us to try to, like, we started just
Ooh, I remember
recording those
those.
on our phones and then
Yeah.
posting them.
Yeah.
But it was like, it would just be better, you know, if we just did the whole show,
Yeah.
you know, where you can kind of see everybody, like, you see everybody's like stupid little expressions on their face. Like, it's just a lot more.
Bats.
Yeah, right. Like it's a lot more involved, and I didn't really expect it to take off at all, but it did a little bit, and that's fine. You know, it's just
I don't know, man. I think if you were to, I don't know if she still has any of the other videos. There are some that you guys made, and it was just like, you know, people were like, boom, like a champ. And like,
yeah,
well, that didn't go as planned. Now
Yeah.
did it? You know. And then there's been others like Jay's reaction, my reaction to the what was it, the Still Reserve beer.
mm-hmm.
Buh.
The one that got left. The one you said got left out in the sun for whatever. And
Yes.
in that video that you drink.
It didn't just get left out in the sun. It got left in his truck.
That's disgusting.
In August, where it was like 110 degrees outside, and then
Yeah.
out on his porch where it was like 105 degrees.
Yeah.
It's like, here, drink this hot ass beer. It's like, and it's Still Reserve.
It's also notoriously one of the worst beers ever created.
There you are.
I tried a hot, like not hot, but like, just like room temperature beer one time. Just not good.
Yeah.
Ironically, a lot of the drunk folks where I live, a lot of the drunk homeless people where I live, all they drink is Steel Reserve.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So
cheap.
it's like, that makes sense too. So
Yeah. Let's see, and also to go along with that, like I was at the time, I was real big into watching Rooster Teeth and did like their Let's Plays and stuff, and like I was real interested in trying to get into doing Let's Plays and maybe game streaming. So I was like, well, you know, might as well try to bring the podcast over to a YouTube channel and just start one and see how it goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I've got a little bit of inspiration from Rooster Teeth there for that too.
Nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
so to jump on the question, to jump on to the next question, not to the next question, but the one we just talked about, was your first episode on YouTube was when you actually showed your face, which actually showed you guys what you look like, or was it still audio only?
We did post some audio only. Like my original goal was to like make just take all the old episodes and upload them. But since there wasn't any video and it was just like the crew logo, like they didn't get any traction. So I was like, it's just a waste of time.
Yeah. And there was a lot of information on there that was like, that's kind of sensitive.
Yeah. During our first season, it was just intended for like our close group of friends for like the first few episodes. And then it was kind of after that we decided that like, hey, you know, we can open it up to more people, not just like people that our friends will show, but like, you know, everybody. So for the first season, a lot of us used our real names. We used our kids' names.
Right.
We talked about like where we worked at and all sorts of stuff. It was just like, okay, well, that's not information we want the public to have.
Yeah, it's super dangerous with people doxing you whenever you disagree with them on stuff.
Yeah, so when we started season 2, that's where everybody really started using like nicknames and no talk about employment. We say we have kids, but we really don't give too much information about those or anything like that. So,
Gotcha.
Right on. Okay, so I guess the next question is, I think you asked that question. What are both of your thoughts on the reaction community?
Duke, you got any strong opinions on the reaction community?
So I think that we're evolving. I think that's something that, I mean, I say we're part of that because we react. We do create our own stuff, which is just us sitting around drinking, talking bad s. But also, I think we're evolving, and we need to make sure that, at the very least, we pay our dues to the people who originally created the content. We need to make sure that we're doing that. No different than anybody who is going to college has to cite a source. We need to make sure that we're doing that, making sure that we're encouraging people who are watching us to go to the original people and the original content creators and like their stuff, share their stuff. But I think that overall, man, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, we've not gotten any hate from anybody else, from any other reactors. Maybe I'm wrong, Shorty. That I'm not aware of.
No, we haven't.
Yeah. Kind of like I don't know, maybe a closer knit community than maybe some of the other YouTube, I don't know, YouTube content folks. I feel like we reach out to each other more here. I don't know. I feel like there's not enough ego. There's no ego here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's more just like a tighter knit community than it is between like people who have solo channels. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but that's how I feel. So that's my feelings on the whole thing. There you go.
I think we've been real fortunate with the things that we've reacted to and the communities we've got, because we really haven't had anybody come in talking anything that wasn't deserved. I should say.
Fair. That's fair.
There have been some things we've said during reactions, and it was just like somebody came in and they were like, actually, but it's not been anything bad or toxic or anything like that.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
But mostly, I guess the biggest reactions we have on our channel are for Ruby, and that community has always been really supportive. They've got a lot of information they tell us, and then we're now reacting to if the Emperor had a text-to-speech device, and I got to say that's my favorite community of all time right now, because
super engaging.
I mean, yeah, they just come in, they're like, lore this, lore that, Easter egg, here's it, watch this, like great reaction. They'll contact me even throughout the week, like, hey man, we need to get that next video up. Really looking forward to your reaction. And I'm like, why?
Yeah. And then we're having our own little podcast thing, and they're like, what in the hell did I just walk in on? Oh, by the way, I'm watching from Scotland.
Yeah.
And then, and then they kind of add little things in, and it's like, it's really nice that these guys are not only watching our reactions to the stuff that they like, but now they're like, oh, okay, all right, there's actually more to this channel than just these guys sitting around being, reactors to stuff.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really, really nice. The last couple of episodes, I would say the last 5, we've had some random folks that have popped in that aren't our usuals. And it's been super, super
awesome.
nice. I love that, man.
Yeah.
That's
And
fantastic.
it's a big difference from the Try Not to Laugh community, I think, because we've got some videos that we just got lucky, like when we were reacting to Adik the One. Some of them got up like 15,000 or more,
22,000,
and we barely got any comments on them.
Yes,
and it's like that on a lot of Try Not to Laugh. Like, people don't really engage on those. So,
yeah,
I mean, I guess no news is better than bad news,
right?
Like, at least they're not coming in being like, you guys are idiots. You just didn't get the joke.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's real hit or miss.
Yeah, no, I get you, and I totally understand those like comments. I don't know. Yeah, I feel a little bit the same way. Like, I don't know about just the reaction community in general. I feel like for us as being part of the reaction community, even on my channel, like, I want to show as much respect as possible to the original, like, the content that I'm reacting to. Like, it's not mine. I'm just showing my support and that I love their content and I want to react to it. Like, I don't own, you don't own any rights to it, but you want to help spread it so that way they could help, like, get more revenue that they deserve, and like, you just love it, and you feel like
absolutely,
and you feel like your audience will love to see your reaction to this great content. Like, it's like, so it's like, I feel like it's a building of both worlds. We're helping support each other.
Exactly.
That's just how I feel like it.
it really replaced, since the internet really came along and got big, and well, I should say specifically streaming, because back in the day, and I hate to say that phrase, but it really is what it was. Like, people would come over to your house and you would all watch a show, or if you didn't watch it together like that, like everyone would talk about it the next day at work.
Yeah.
But once stuff like YouTube and stuff blew up, like everybody's watching their own thing. You know, it's like if I go to work tomorrow and I'm like, and I want to talk to somebody like, hey man, did you see the last If Dipper Had a Text-to-Speech Device episode? They're like, no, what are you?
Yeah, what the hell are you insane?
Like, what about Ruby? You know, you've heard of Ruby, right?
No.
So it's like, I think reaction videos came in and filled that gap, because now you get to feel like you're in the room with somebody, you're watching somebody have the same emotions that you had when you watched it, and they're talking about it like you would talk with somebody who watches that show with you, and you get down in the comments, you can engage with other people, engage with the reactor.
Oh yeah.
I think it really filled that gap, and I think it's like a necessary thing.
Yes,
absolutely.
Like if you think about it, going back in the day before YouTube was really, really big, the biggest thing was like, hey man, did you watch like last night's episode of Simpsons?
Yeah.
Did you watch this episode of The Walking Dead or whatever else? And it's like, yeah. Oh man, you like The Walking Dead? I like The Walking Dead. Friends.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, you get to have that bonding experience. Like, yes, somebody besides me actually caught on to this, or hey, they didn't catch that. I'm going to share this information. Boom, you're welcome.
Yeah.
That's a totally beautiful thing. You know, like, you know, touching on what Reuben said, it definitely helps, you know, not just a content creator, but also helps you as a reaction channel, because like you just said, you know, we're not trying to make money off someone else's work. You know, it's our way of like showing our respect to them. Because honestly, my opinion, if it weren't for reaction videos, like I feel like some of the stuff wouldn't get as much, you know, exposure as they did it. That's my opinion anyway. And if there's one thing, and if there's one thing I did learn from doing YouTube when I started YouTube, is that it definitely allowed me to have thicker skin, because obviously when you're going to be a reactor, even if it's like not necessarily very toxic videos from a community, there's still going to be at least that one person that's just going to just say one of the worst things. Like in one case, I literally had someone threaten to kill me once. And I swear to God, like the younger me would have just flipped out, but now it's just like, okay, yeah, whatever. And it really helps you just develop thicker skin, because you know there's always going to be toxic people that's just going to say all sorts of horrible shit to you, and the worst thing you can do is engage them back, because that's what they want you to do. And that's no.
That's the best thing you can do. That's the best thing you can do, because I feed off the butt hurt.
Yeah.
I can't remember what episode we watched of Adik, the one they're like, can the guy in the whatever shirt I was wearing that day shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, I'm not like, oh, clutching my pearls. I was like, oh, really?
Clutching my pearls.
And so I was like, but what I did was I made fun of myself. Like, oh my God, I can't even with this effing guy, like I was talking S about myself, like, yeah, that dude does need to shut the hell up. He don't know nothing, like I was like, and anybody who maybe watches the show at least knows, wait a minute, that guy who's making comments matches that guy's name that's in the show. So, that's how I take. I've had a couple people be critical to me. I don't know if Shorty has or not, but I know I've had a few people be critical of me, and I'm like, yeah, you can't hurt my feelings because I don't have any.
Yeah.
I think it did mention that Shorty, like, there was a comment that Shorty didn't like, and then he kind of removed it. I don't really remember
that
what
had to do with. That wasn't about Shorty. Somebody said something about his wife.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah,
that's a different game, bruh.
My
guy's lucky we didn't go knocking on his door.
My rule for comments, like, I don't care if it's constructive criticism or destructive criticism, but if you're gonna make it destructive, it's got to be either funny, witty, or insightful.
There you go.
If it's not that, then I don't need to know my channel.
Yeah.
But like, exactly. I don't care if you come in and you want to talk shit and you're funny about it. That's fine. I don't care what you say. If it's funny, then more power to you.
Right.
If it's witty and it makes you go like, I didn't think about it like that, then that's fine too. If it's something insightful or it's like, well, that's
one way to look at
it. Yeah. And that's fine too. But if you're just coming in and you're just talking shit and there's nothing to it except just shit talking, like, I don't need it. Nobody needs it.
I mean, if it's about me, it's fine.
Well,
I like it. But if it's about somebody that I care about, it's like, I'm not gonna have that.
Yeah.
Like that's probably it's gonna be toxic for you. So
exactly.
All right, and we're on the next question here.
Next question.
Duke, how'd you feel after coming on the first episode of the RHCrew Podcast?
So, as I had said before, these guys had a few episodes, and I listened to every single one of them. They posted them on our Facebook so that, you know, everybody that was a part of the group could hear them. And I was just like excited. I was like waiting every Saturday. Was it Friday or Saturday?
We recorded on Saturdays and released them on Mondays.
Yeah. So every Monday, I was just waiting for the next one to come out. And so I would be at work driving around and listening to this shit like, dur, 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 you know, like laughing real hard. Like, I remember that, you know, and I'm sure there were some random people looking at me like, what the hell is wrong with that guy? You know? And I remember whenever I got my invitation to come, I was just like, I was really excited. I was like, yes, you know, I can't wait to go. And I remember coming in and being a part of it. And I'm like, I hope I get asked to come back.
Yeah.
And I didn't immediately get asked to come back. It was probably about maybe it was probably 2 weeks later I got asked to come back. So it would have been a 3-week lapse between the episode that I came on and then the next episode that I came on.
Yeah, because the way we did it back then, like since I said earlier, we recorded, like it literally took over my entire living room for hours. We recorded 2 episodes. So we only recorded on every other Saturday.
Right.
So yeah, there would be like a pretty big gap, and it may not be like anything like that. But when we had a guest on, it'd be for 2 episodes in a row, usually, unless for some reason they had to skate on us. But yeah, so it's probably a few episode gap before you came back.
Yeah, but again, I remember being asked on. Man, I really I don't know. I had such a good time. I hadn't really got to hang out with. I had seen you. Mm-hmm. And we had hung out because we had gone to some training stuff, and it was like, oh, hey, you know, and so we got to hang out a little bit. We got to go to lunch, but it had been a very long time since I hung out with you. It had even been longer since I hung out with co-host Jay, just because he's so busy. You know, he worked a lot, you know, and so, you know, it was really nice to be in the same room as the two of you, watching you two go back and forth. All I did was drink and laugh. You know, that's really all I did, you know. And then the question was, you know, usually whenever we have somebody from the crew on that we've not had on before, they've, you know, he and Jay, they started this trend was, how do you know us? And so, you know, like I would remember, like I would explain how I met Jay, and then I would explain how I met Shorty.
And that was part of the bit too, is we didn't explain how we knew them. Right. We made them explain how they knew us.
Yes. And then there would be little things that thrown in there too.
It was like, you know, talk about us. This is our show.
Yeah, I mean, pretty smart. You make the guest do all the work.
Yeah.
And so I remember leaving there with this maybe this part of me that had been missing something for a very, very long time. Pieced back together because you know, like I'm a different person around him and co-host Jay than I am around people that I don't know, and then even my own family for that matter, because these guys know who I really am. They understand even the terrible shitty crust of me, and accept me even though it's maybe a little toxic. And so, you know, it's just nice to be around folks that really get you. So that's how I felt. Yeah, there you go. I drew that out a lot longer than I should have.
Okay, so let's get the next question then. Is there a fucking echo?
A little bit.
That was me.
Oh, yeah. Mike.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Bring on Mike.
Yep. Are you guys thinking about improving your podcast more?
No.
Self-improvement is masturbation.
Such a simple answer response. Nope.
Yeah. No, that is from that's from Fight Club.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's from Fight Club. Right. So, but yeah, no. We laugh and say no.
Right.
There are things that are changing.
Yeah. Okay. We're always making like little tweaks.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Or if it's already broken, there's no need to fix it.
Like, I really am trying to move the podcast away from being just a hangout where it's just like we get together and we bullshit and get drunk. Like, I'm actually trying to move it towards like, you know, we talk about stupid shit that happened on YouTube or stupid shit that happened in the news, and maybe react to videos and stuff that people send us, and kind of stuff that more people can understand. And it's not just like you tune in, you're like, well, I guess if I'd hung out with those guys 20 years ago, I'd get that joke.
Yeah. Old white guy explaining things.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably how Courtney would describe our podcast. But we've dropped a lot of segments that we've had too over the years, like Jay's playlist.
And that was one of the funnest ones.
It was, but YouTube kind of screwed us on that.
Yeah, they did.
We ditched the beer reviews, so not a lot of people tuned in on that stuff. So we're always making like small changes here and there. I think it's probably been in the last couple months where we really started being more of like a topic sort of based podcast. Like before, it would just be like everybody shows up. It's like, what are we talking about? I don't know. Fucking wing it, and then whatever happened. But this probably since January, when we came back, January, February, we've had more like, I'll pull stuff off Twitter and we'll talk about that, or something that happened on YouTube or
in the news,
whatever news stuff's happening in the news. Yeah. And we'll just let that take us wherever it goes.
Gotcha. All right. On to the next question. How did you guys meet each other?
Well, so it was our friend Wagner's birthday party.
And he was like, "Hey guys, want to try some Molly?"
Oh God!
Oh no!
That's not what happened.
It's already going south. That went south.
Oh jeez.
No. So
you got to set it up. His birthday. How old was he?
He was 13.
13. Okay.
He was 13. He just turned 13. I was 13. He just turned 13. Because my birthday's in July. His is in December. His birthday's December 29th. And so I don't know if he's probably okay with me fucking divulging that.
We were just talking about like not doxing ourselves.
The great part about it is I'm pretty sure that's not his birthday. These motherfuckers be like, all right, here I go. Like, 29, like, boop, nope, wrong. Duke is wrong again.
You know what? That guy's probably got such bad credit. There is nothing you could steal from him anyway.
Yeah, it's like all you can do is improve his credit score at this point. If you if you get a credit card out in his name, all you're gonna do is improve it.
Oh man.
And so it was his 13th birthday party, which was a big deal. And his mom, a lot of people don't understand, like, it was one of those hub homes where, everybody hung out there. And she was one of those people that was just super cool with she was really relaxed with the way that she let us do things. She wasn't overbearing. If someone, said a cuss word, she wasn't like, get that heathen out of my house.
Yeah.
She wouldn't do that sort of stuff. She was very accepting, and she even taught us some things, moral wise.
And she's one of those ladies too. Like you show up and like, cause you'd think maybe Wagner was there. He'd knock on the door because the car was there. Yeah. And then she'd answer the door and be like, oh, well, he went somewhere with his girlfriend because she had a better car. So she drove everywhere.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, oh, okay. And then like you and your two buddies would turn around and leave. She'd be like, no, it's fine. You guys come back to his room and drink a Pepsi.
Yeah, Mountain Dew. You guys want to Yeah. She had the best Pepsis. She had this refrigerator that would keep the Pepsi so perfectly cold that it wouldn't freeze up, but it would be kind of slushy-ish.
Yeah.
So it was like the coldest Pepsi.
That's not perfectly cool. That's horrible. Not
32.
No, it was like a
32.1 degrees.
Yeah, it's like a real light.
How are you that specific with the temperature?
Yeah, like just above freezing.
Okay, fair enough.
But she was the best, and she'd always have something to say, and she would talk about her and her husband, God rest his soul, about their time in Germany, and you listen to some of their funny stories, and it's like, man, like she was an interesting person. She was fun to be around, and whatever anybody else says, I think she was a hell of a mom. She was a neighborhood mom to a lot of us. I mean, I lived with them for not many years, but for a few years, and so she was by a proxy mom for me for sure. And And so, but we met over at his house, and Shorty had brought his Sega Genesis over. That's giving away our age.
Yeah,
that's giving away our age. And he had Mortal Kombat there, and he was just killing everybody, like murdering everybody. Nobody could like kill him. Nobody was hanging. But I'm one of those guys. I don't give up. I just don't. Like I'll fight till I win.
Well, before we jump to that,
okay,
let's go back just a little bit. So we had just met, and you were you're Triple D's cousin.
Mm-hmm.
So I was friends with Triple D's and Wagner, but I didn't really know like many of you guys other than just like a few of you. So it's the first time I met you, obviously,
right?
And Duke is like obviously way cooler than his cousin. So and but like everybody knew him or was like, oh my gosh, it's Duke. And I'm like, who the fuck is this?
Right? Who the fuck's this guy?
Yeah. And there were some girls there, and
what?
And
good times.
Yeah. And so one of them like was a little bit more standout attractive than the rest of them, and she obviously was into Duke, and he was all like, so he was doing his like, I'm an alpha, like showing off stuff. So he'd be like, yeah, I can do these push-ups. Why don't you sit on my back? I bet I can do 15. And so she'd sit.
I did that. Oh shit, I forgot.
And so she sat on his back.
I didn't do 15. I did like 50.
Yeah, he did a bunch.
Oh my god!
Damn, showing off.
Yeah, it was stupid. I don't know what I mean, testosterone.
Yeah.
You know,
I was like, funny. I don't know why, but
you're
I need
a teenager.
To
teenager hot girls. You got to push it to the limits. What it sounded like.
Yeah, so I was like, I bet I can do that too. And she sat on my back, and I did some push-ups. I don't remember how many I did, bro. So it's like, but I remember like doing some shit talking, like, yeah, I'm a lot smaller, and I'm still doing this. And this was back when I was like in shape and like on weight and everything. So it's like,
Shorty used to be able to do not just hand touches, but chest touch push-ups.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's what's up.
Yeah, now my gut gets in the way. But yeah, so like there was already we were friends, we were getting along, we hung out and talked at night, but there was that weird air of like competition that really didn't exist, but it was there anyway.
Okay.
And so we started playing Mortal Kombat. And so he was obviously like
trash.
No, he had obviously been doing better and like all that, like, well, I'll show off how strong I am and everything, because he was in shape in martial arts and everything, and obviously worked out a lot more than I did. But then it came down to video games. I'm whooping his ass. I'm like, here we go.
Yep.
I got this.
And I'm just like, all right, next game.
Yeah.
All right, next game. All right, next game. I don't know. He probably beat me 100 times, at least. I mean, maybe somewhere around in there. 101 time came around, and I won. And before it says you win, Shorty walks over, goes, boo, hits the power, and walks off like a boss. And at first, I was going to snatch him up. But then I was like, I can't be mad at that. That was fucking cool. You know? All I could do. Yeah. All I could do was just be like, that happened. This guy's my new best friend.
And I don't know why, because it was so like petty of me too. It was just like, fuck this.
I would have
like before it said you win. It was like, boo. I was like, wait, what? Huh? What? What the fuck just happened?
I would have done the same shit.
That is funny. Oh my god.
Because dude, listen, he was killing everybody in the house. There was probably 20 kids there.
Wow.
And he was killing everybody. They couldn't hang with him. And I was just like, meh, next time. Next time.
What character did you play?
Do what?
What character did you play?
Oh, I played every character I could play because I was like, that didn't work. That one didn't work. I probably went to the roster twice at least.
It was Mortal Kombat either 2 or 3.
2.
But what character did you play as?
I think I beat him with Sub-Zero.
Probably.
Right on.
Shorty, do you know who you were? Like what character?
Who was the one I mained? Who was the yellow robot?
Scorpion.
Cyrax?
No.
Cyrax?
Because he had this cheap move. Like, I'm not gonna say that I was like playing amazing, but like if shit, like he was one I could always pull out the clutch move, where like he would duck off screen and then come back up with like this flying punch. It was real hard to fucking.
Was that
defend
Smoke?
against.
Oh, you were a spammer. That's how it is.
I think Smoke.
That explains why you won. You were just being cheap with the air moves. I'm like, okay, I see how it is.
A win is a win. I tell you all the time, camping
cheap is cheap. Cheap is fucking cheap.
And the rock are all tactics.
It's a legitimate strategy.
It is a legitimate strategy because you win, right?
Yeah, but it was one of those
Be
like,
mad, bro. Be mad. You know?
It was just one of those moves where it's like if somebody started blocking too much or doing some stupid shit or you started getting behind, it was like you could pull it out and usually catch somebody like in the middle of a jump or some shit, and like you could take the match back with it.
Yeah, you can. And then it puts people on notice like, wait a minute, I gotta be careful about what I do next because I might get another one of those.
Oh, that's great.
But after that time, I was like, I need to be friends with this guy because if he's gonna do that to me, I can't not like him. I can't not like him. I after that point, I was just like, that was well played. That was very brave. I like that. I can dig that. I can dig the attitude. I can dig the attitude and the coolness of it all. So I was like, I'm friends with this guy now.
Yeah, we were. You actually moved in. I moved into the school district.
I did.
Like not long after that, and we were really good friends after that.
Yep,
that's awesome.
Inseparable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Inseparable.
Yeah, I'd stay at his place. He'd stay at my place.
Yeah,
and then that's awesome.
They're right at the end before I joined the military. I was at his place quite a bit.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Right.
Destroying his toilet.
That's another. Hey, we're friends. It's okay.
Story. That's a side story altogether.
I feel like
now I kind of want to know.
I feel like that story might be the answer for the next question. Do you want to ask the question, Ivan?
Yeah. What are both your goals in life?
No. It's
that was the next question.
No, this one was.
Okay. No. You skipped 2 questions.
No, this one.
Yes, you did. No, you skipped it.
This next one was. It's not the order I have it, and this is the next one.
I'm looking at this order. The one you text me on Skype. That's the order I'm looking at.
All right.
Okay, forget it. What were some of the funniest moments growing up? Fine. I'll do your.
That would be one of the funniest.
I have it in order right here. Follow it.
I don't know if I want to share
Bitch, no, I'm following my order. Okay, no, go ahead.
Man, that's a tough one. We had so many.
Yeah, we did. Really.
Just name one so we don't drag it out.
True. We dragged it so long already.
God, how long have we been doing this?
We're almost gonna go on an hour, and we're only like barely like halfway through the questions.
Oh no. Okay. Shorty, just you answer this question.
Okay. Oh man, why are you putting me on the spotlight here? Let's see.
Because I babble.
I don't know if it may not be one of the funniest, but it was definitely one of the most memorable. You were with me in my Ranger that night we chased those guys, right?
Oh, I was there.
Okay, I was making
that was
sure
you and me.
Yeah,
that was just you and me.
So
6 guys in the other car.
Yeah. I don't even remember why, but we were gonna fight these guys.
We were gonna no. I remember why.
Okay.
I remember why. Okay, so they cut us off and then they braked real hard.
Yeah.
And we couldn't understand why. Like, what the hell is this even about? Like, what we were coming back from, I think we dropped your girl off.
Probably. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I think we dropped your girl off and we were on our way back. And for some strange reason, these guys went around us and they braked real hard. And you're like, these guys are pricks. And then, like, they kept on brake checking us. I was like, all right, they want some.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell's wrong with them, but they want some, so they're going to get it. Whatever it is that they want, they can have it. So go on.
So, like, it's like you said, it's just the 2 of us. And in my is a 93 Ford Ranger 4-cylinder with, like, no power in it whatsoever.
But chasing after a Mustang.
Yeah, chasing after a Mustang with, like, 6 dudes in it. And back then, I was a race car driver. Okay. So, like,
and a damn good one.
Thank you. And so we were able to keep up with them just because, like, they would slow down too much, like, to get around other cars or to take turns and stuff.
Right. And Shorty's.
Yeah, it's like, well, I understand how the vehicle works. And there was one point when we chased them down this road, and they thought they were going to make this fucking, like, they thought they were going to do some stunt driver fucking pull a maneuver and get away from us.
Right, because here's the thing. They wanted some, and then they didn't want none.
Right. When we started following them, they were like, okay, well, this
escalated quickly.
Yeah, like we didn't fuck around. We didn't want to catch an ass whooping, and these dudes obviously are planning on giving an ass whoop.
Right.
And so we're driving down this 4-lane road, and like out of nowhere, they like hit their brakes and make this like real sharp turn. And like I just tell Duke, I'm like, hang on.
Oh shit, bar.
and like it was a standard shift too. So like it was a manual transmission. So I pushed the clutch in, I drop a gear down, I reached down and hit the e-brake.
Yes.
And so like while we're spinning, the brake is locked. So like we spin around, and then I pop the e-brake and shift it back into gear.
It was fucking beautiful.
We take off like right behind him again.
I'm like, yo, shut up.
God damn, that's a skill right there.
I was over here being a fan, like, whoa, what did you just do? That's insane.
Yeah, so
awesome.
What's some Fast and Furious shit? That's what's up,
bro. It really was. It was freaking legit. Like, this is not a bullshit story. This happened.
No, that's what's up. I like it.
Yeah, it was fun as fuck. I think eventually they ran through a red light, and I was like, yeah, I'm just not gonna follow them through.
Yeah,
that.
we're not gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Good. That's good.
It was
That's
evident
awesome.
at that point they did not want none. If they're gonna run a red light, do like a busy intersection to avoid us, it's like, nah, they don't want to die, so we're just gonna let this one go. Because we were already playing. I was like, Shorty, the moment that they stopped, I had it in my head what I was going to do to these guys. I was like, I'm going to get the guy that drops out of the back seat because I'm going to be the first one on the driver's side that pops out. I'm going to get him, make sure no one gets me from behind, and then I'm going to climb inside. I'm going to grab the driver.
I'm sure you were so disappointed when they actually ran the red light. You actually didn't get to do all that.
Yeah,
it was disappointing because there was a lot of work and gas that went into that.
Yeah. I was just about to say that it was a lot of work to try to catch up to them.
Oh, good. Freaking times right there, man. I hadn't thought about that in a minute.
Oh, that's fun.
All right, on the next question.
That was fun.
All right, you want to read this one?
Yeah. What were your expectations going into the podcast?
I honestly thought it would probably run its course in less than 20 episodes.
Yeah,
Really?
I really did. I thought that it would start off as like a fun thing, and then I thought like we would get enough of our stories out, and then people would start getting too busy, you know, like because we had to record. Like I said, if you came over, it was usually like a 4 to 6 hour recording session, like on a Saturday night, so it was already real hard for people to get there. And yeah, I just thought we'd tell all of our stories, and it would probably just fizzle out with people having a life to live.
Right. And there's been quite a few like people that used to be on the show frequently, especially the audios, which was Teach and Cece.
Yeah.
Both of them are like, no, won't come on if you're going to put my face on camera anymore.
Yeah.
And I get it. Well, here's the thing. We were just talking about something right there. Like that happened whenever we were minors. Okay.
Yeah.
So, gotcha.
Like 16, 17.
Yes. 16 years old. So, you know, you can kind of, you know, there's some leeway that you get with that stuff, but some employers would look at that and be like, you're fired, you know? And so we can't jeopardize these people's full-time jobs, you know? And so we completely understand why, you know, even some folks that used to be regulars on the show don't come on anymore. We get it.
Yeah.
You
That
know?
makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, I try to keep what I do. Shorty tries to keep what he do real low key because, you know, our bosses would not be happy with a lot of the stuff that we say.
Probably not.
You know,
I think that's a safe bet.
yeah, that's a safe bet. You know, and so you know, we just it ain't like we're I don't know. Anyway, besides the point, let's move on.
Okay.
But yeah. So, I was comfortable buying all the equipment, knowing it'd probably run its course in like 20, 25 episodes. Because, like I said, I drew inspiration from Rooster Teeth, so like I thought like, well, I'll get the equipment and then like I can start doing let's plays or stuff like that, and it'll be fine. It won't be a waste of money. But it kept going, so
yeah.
Nice.
You lucked out there.
Yeah.
Didn't waste all that money on that equipment. But Reuben, next question.
Next question. Is there any future plans for the podcast, Shorty and Duke? I think you guys kind of mentioned this already a little bit.
We did.
Yeah.
They were like, no.
Yeah. So
We're like, no, we're not doing nothing different. We are.
Yeah.
There are other things in the works. We're just, you know, like we're still like for one thing, if you guys don't know about Ruby Tuesdays, we're punching out 2 episodes now. So
Nice.
you won't just get 1, you'll get 2 now.
yeah.
Nice.
And then TTFs, that's coming out. That's now a regular thing that we do. Beforehand, it was like
You did your stuff on
every 2
restaurants?
do what?
You need your stuff on Restaurant TGI Fridays and then
Man, stop! I'm hungry. Stop playing. Like I barely had anything to eat today,
I'm
man.
better than all of you, and I didn't even think of that. No, that's clever. Actually, like,
as far as the podcast goes, we're just gonna keep making the small adjustments, see what works. I definitely plan to keep this one as lighthearted as possible because the last couple episodes we did were a little bit heavier and we got a lot of dislikes on them. And I think it's because we have an audience that's built around like just watching people have fun.
Yeah.
And they come in the middle of something, you know, they see us, they're like, oh, those are guys that react to all that comedy shit. Let me drop in and see what they're talking about. It's like, well, my thoughts on the fucking problems with
Tulsa
Russia.
Massacre.
It's
White
like,
privilege, and it's like, fuck, man, move on, click.
I would have done the same thing.
Next. And it's like, next, we're done.
Yeah,
but I am,
yeah.
I am
Go
going to
ahead.
start a second channel that's for more like real world commentary where we can talk about like other stuff there. So
Right on.
All right.
That's actually gonna say, like, yeah, a lot of the stuff we have been talking about was kind of serious. Like, I went on this whole rant about cyberbullying, but it was kind of stuff I was very passionate about. I might as well just run with it. But yeah, I digress.
No. I get you, Ivan. I'm the same kind of animal. Whenever I'm very, very passionate about something that I truly believe in, I have to follow it till its logical end until I get it out. And then,
Exactly.
I feel like I've got whatever toxicity was in my body out, and then I can move on to something else. So,
Not just from the beer. Not just from the beer.
yeah, or the liquor.
All right. Next question.
All right, next question.
What are both your goals in life?
mine is to be independently employed. I guess you could say that. Like, I don't want to work for anybody else. I want to work for myself. I don't even care if I don't make as much money as I'm making now. Like, I don't like the thought of having to answer to somebody else all the time.
Having a boss.
Yeah.
I share that same feeling as Shorty, that same sentiment. The other side of that is I want to be the best version of me that I can be, whatever that is.
Yeah.
I love how you says best virgin. I'm like, I'm the best virgin of you. You're way too late for that shit.
Dude. And virgin typically do not.
That's what I.
Not even talking about the booty hole.
Well, it's a little close. I kind of heard that a little bit. But I was
Thank you, Rube.
I was like, I think he said something else. So, all right, I'm not going to say anything. But then you said it. I was like, okay, never mind. It's out there.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. But I totally understand what you guys are saying. Like,
Yeah.
to be your own boss, and even just being able, like, even though you're not saying that you don't want to make tons of money, but at least maybe enough money to get by, you know, like
self-sufficient, yeah.
And even just be like a better version of yourself, like almost improve yourself every day in general. Like, I totally get that.
Now, the other side of that, he and I have kids, and so in the end, what are you doing for your kids if you're not leaving them something?
Right.
And so if you have something that you can give them that is totally yours, like a business, and you're like, look, dude, I built this, make it better.
Yeah.
You piece of crap.
At least take my failures and do something better.
Yeah, because failure is a teacher.
Yeah.
And so this is what I've messed up on. Do better than me, butthole. And get rich so that whenever I can be in a better retirement home. Shady acres, mofo. Put me someplace where at least the nurses got some big old bitties.
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right, next question.
Great answer.
What does the RH stand for in RHCrew?
I'll let Duke handle this one.
So the RH stands for the neighborhood that we grew up in, which is Rolling Hills.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's a small, little, dinky freaking piece of crap. There's actually Rolling Hills 1 and Rolling Hills 2. Mm-hmm. Rolling Hills 2 is much nicer. It is where it's a little bit like further up, kind of like a little hill, like the way it goes up, you know, like we're in a little valley. It kind of goes up just a smidge. And so that is where, like, we'd always be like, wow, look at all these rich people. And they're really not, you know, they were hardworking. Like their parents,
the hedgehog level.
Yeah, their parents didn't live paycheck to paycheck. Their parents lived like, you know, every other paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
And so, but like we lived kind of on the lower side of, you know, on the income spectrum. But you know, there was nothing rolling about where we lived. There were no damn hills. Now on the other
It was
side,
only really downhill.
Yeah.
we were downhill for damn sure. So that's what it stands for. There you go.
All right.
Next question.
All right. Next question.
What got you guys to react to Ruby?
This is the one I was trying to look up right before we started. I honestly don't remember if somebody suggested it to us or if we were just looking for stuff to react to. And I was like, Duke's never seen this, and I think he would really like it. And I tend to remember it being more that way because we started off watching the trailers, and that was going to be like if he watched the first 4 trailers and didn't really care for them, then we weren't going to continue with it.
Maybe that was what was in your brain.
Yeah.
So here I came in and he goes, here, we're going to watch this shit. I'm like, okay. So then I was like, oh, this actually looks pretty cool. This is interesting. That's a different type of animation. Huh. I do like watching people, I'm a fan of underdogs. And so I like watching people come from the bottom and move up. Yeah. And so, Shorty was like, nah, the animation gets better. I'm like, okay, cool. All right, I'll take your word for it. Because he and I like the same type of anime. And so, and hentai too. But no.
Sneak that in there and hentai.
Right. I had to throw Samuel L. Jackson in there. But I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. At the very least, what have I got to lose other than, I get to hang out with my bro and watch something that he's interested in, and maybe I get to learn something new. And so, it ended up being this thing. Now, dude, we just finished, season 5?
We just started
season 5.
Season 4.
And
season 4. You're in season 4.
We ended season 4. We started season 5. You guys will see that.
Oh, you're starting. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, no, I just watched the first. I watched the season intro of season 5.
I love
so
the
good.
Season 5 intro. I love the season 5 intro. It's literally my favorite
really
intro.
Yeah. And then I noticed something about Crow's walk, which was he walks like an actual damn crow.
Yeah.
His body's forward in front of his knees.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. But anyway, I just love the fact that they added that Ruby added that, or not Ruby, but Rooster Tail added that detail because it wasn't something that I, had noticed before. And I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point. Anyway, that's how, Shorty was like, hey, we're watching this. And I'm like, okay, cool. And so, it kind of just moved from there. And now we've got this nice community that I think that's how Courtney kind of came to us.
I think so, yeah.
Oh.
That's cool.
I think that's how Courtney found us, was us watching Ruby. So I don't know, Courtney,
cool.
Is that true?
Yeah,
I was actually gonna say how I got into Ruby was the episode of Death Battle with Yang versus Tifa. That was the first time I've heard of Ruby. I'm like, who is this chick with the burning? I was like, who is this chick with the burning hair? I'm like, okay, I'll check this out. I watched the whole series. I'm a huge fan of it. Like, okay, this was fire. No pun intended.
Yeah,
but
I still gotta watch it. So
I may do a reaction if I don't get shitted on by the copyright issue. I may do a reaction to the newest season when it comes out. So shameless plug-in right there.
Yeah.
Question. Next question.
All right. Do you want to ask this one because you're the one who came up with it?
All right. What's your favorite / least favorite episodes of Death Battle?
My least favorite will forever and always be Kirby versus Majin Buu.
I actually echo. That is my very least favorite as well.
Did you see it?
Yes. I'm like, bullshit. It's Majin Buu.
I wanted you to react to it.
Yeah, I have a hard time. Listen, I'm a DBZ fan. Just like I watched, my favorite is the Superman Goku. Mm-hmm. And so whenever I watched that one, I was not happy with it, but I settled.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I was the exact same way. I was like,
I was actually the opposite. I was actually happy Kirby won. I was like, yay, Kirby, yes, because I wanted to.
Yeah.
I was one fan. And also because I was one of the few people who didn't give two shits about Dragon Ball. I'm sorry to say that. So when Cooper Kirby won, I was like, yes, but at the same time, I was like, this is gonna get controversial, and it did. But
it
I was
really
like, whatever.
did.
The cute little puffball won, so I was all right. I was fine with it. Anyway, that's your least favorite. What's your favorite?
Duke already said Goku and Superman. I think that's my favorite too.
Yay!
Because
really,
they came back. I still don't agree with them wholly.
Me either. But
the end result might have still been the same, maybe, but their calculations were off, and people pointed that out. They gave Goku the same energy level at base, and then at base Super Saiyan 1. It's like, well, you just messed that up. That's,
you didn't do that right.
Yeah. And some of their things that they talked about, I was like, It's not quite right. Like I see where they're coming from and why they got that idea, but I don't think they were quite right with that. And another thing is I don't think it was a good time to do it and give it a definitive answer because Dragon Ball was coming back.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a whole new level beyond Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
And another thing they said that really pissed me off, I don't like from a philosophical point, how do you get here? They were like, well, how does somebody, like, who could be the winner between somebody who has no limits and someone who can always surpass their limits? And I'm like, if you can surpass your limits, you don't have limits. If
there you go, dumb.
Them, they don't exist.
It's their wording.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the wording. It's like they could break limits against someone who has no limits to break. Like there's no limit to reach because he's far beyond that point. It's just
but
the way
that's
they
not
worded
even true
it.
of Superman.
It's not.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's just the wording of it all. Okay, so that moment when Superman when Goku did the Kamehameha and Superman just like walked through it, what was your guys' reaction to that? I know a lot of people got upset.
Yeah. Inappropriate.
I was expecting. All right, never mind. All right,
I mean, I was filled with disgust, but it still seemed like okay.
Yeah, I got triggered when that happened.
How did you get triggered? Let me hear this.
Spirit bomb. So
Come on, dude. It's like a Super Saiyan God Kamehameha,
It's just like,
and he's just walking through it like nothing.
Yeah.
It triggered.
It was
me.
like. It was like a fucking breeze in it, like a breeze in the air, like
Yeah.
It's one of my things where they're always like, "Well, this is how Ki would work in that universe." It's like, how do you know?
You have no clue. Stop playing. Yeah.
That's why this one video. That's why this one video I saw. Someone made their own like pixelated animation of Superman versus Goku, showing how Goku would beat Superman. And one of the things he would do is that he would destroy the sun.
Yeah.
Because that's where his power comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and whenever you're a tactician and you're smart, you're like, there you go.
Yeah, he would either destroy the sun if he really believed that's what he needed to do.
Wouldn't he die
too?
Wouldn't he die too?
And then wish back the sun afterwards.
Or he would have taken Superman to like a dark spot in the universe.
Yeah, exactly. Or that too, yeah.
Instant transmission to a place that has no sun and then just spank his bottom.
Yep.
Definitely true.
Fair enough.
So, next question. Any future plans to have gaming more on your channel?
Probably not on this channel. Probably on our Twitch for sure, which is twitch.tv/RHCrew.
That's right.
And link is in the description as well. So
please go follow them.
Yeah.
We'll probably once some more games get on what is it, Xbox Game Pass or PC, we'll probably be doing more gaming.
Right on.
All right. So next question.
Mm-hmm. Next question. How did you guys meet or come across the Reaction Squad podcast?
That was through Ivan.
Ivan.
Yeah.
Well, this was me. So, like, to go back a little bit, because when I first met these guys, this was like a Deek the One episode 15, I believe. That's kind of where I left the comment. I was like, these dudes are actually pretty funny, and I think it was one of your podcasts. That was the first time I jumped in. It was like, hey guys, I've been watching your podcast for like a good amount of time now, but I just decided to come until now. I'm like, hey, you guys are funny. And Nij, what the fuck did you just say? Condrum? What the fuck? Anyway,
It's a conundrum.
Conundrum. I'm not dirty minded. I swear to God.
He's like, cum drum? Cum drum? What is that?
Oh fuck! God damn it! God damn it! I'm not dirty minded. I refuse to accept.
You guys are making Ivan salivate.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, man.
Oh my.
That's nasty. Okay, no seriously. So I came across their channel. I was like, yo, these guys are funny as fuck. I've been supporting them ever since. I haven't missed any other shows. Like, yo, these guys are entertaining as fuck. And so I was like, hey, Fitz, I know guys, I know a couple guys you should really bring in because I need people to realize how funny as fuck these guys are because they're not getting enough exposure. And so that's how we pretty much got them on. And when we started doing the After Darks, that's when they really began to shine. That's when it really kicked in.
Yeah,
and that's kind of the short version of it. But you want to tell your version of it, you could.
No, that's really about it. You started commenting on some of our episodes and some of our videos, and you're like, hey, you guys should jump in on this. You sent us a link, I think, to the Reaction Squad podcast. I was like, I want to try to get you guys on, and so we watched a couple episodes, and we jumped in, and
We had fun.
That was pretty much history.
That's basically the exact same way than how Ivan brought me onto the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much the same way. I saw Reuben. I'm like, hey, this guy's a cool cat. You know, he kind of reminds me of me. And then when he made that depression video, I was like, you know what? Let me help this kid out. And then we brought him on. So I did Reuben a service. I did RHCrew to promote them. I brought Reuben on as a service to help with his depression. So yeah.
All right. Next question.
Next.
Any future plans on a series you guys would like to react to?
Avatar.
We are always looking.
We've been given quite a few. One of which is what is it? Realms of Remnant.
Yeah, it's the
World of Remnant.
Along with Ruby, the World Remnant.
World
yeah, we're
Remnant.
gonna do that.
Okay.
We're adding in lore reactions to it, like for Warhammer 40K, so we kind of understand more about what's going on with the Emperor. If the Emperor had a text-to-speech device series.
Mm-hmm.
Other than just an actual series, I'm really not sure.
I still think you guys should.
We've talked about doing Avatar. The last
You should, dude. You should.
The only problem with that is it takes a long time to edit videos, and there's other stuff that I want to do, so I don't know if I can work that in right now. Because having it taking an hour, sometimes more, just to try to cut down a 20-minute episode into like sub 10 minutes or sub 8 minutes, whatever they let fly for anime these days. It eats up a lot of time when it's like I could be working on something else.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right. Next question.
Do you guys regret anything that might have happened during a podcast?
Weekly.
So
Weekly.
yes is the short answer. I feel like there's not an episode that's gone by, maybe a handful, where I've left like, okay, I don't feel like I'm a complete douchebag.
I kind of felt the same way because, like, when there's moments, I'm just like, oh, I kind of wish I didn't say that. I just look like a fucking idiot. But you know, I share the guilt too. So
yeah, that's that. I would say the last two episodes I've been over serious, and so I watched the last two episodes and I was like, oh, at one point I think it was like an hour 45 in. I was like, what in the hell was wrong with me? Oh yeah, alcohol, too much. So
alcohol's the best part.
I think every regrettable moment has stemmed from drinking too much alcohol.
Yeah.
Isn't that the point? That's the highlight. Isn't that the point?
I know one. We'll say it later, but it was funny and sad at the same point, and I was really, really apologetic about it all. Yeah, you know.
I think I know what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I do too. I remember now. Yeah.
Okay. Next question.
Next question.
What is the worst thing or any major technical difficulties that has happened during a podcast?
So we recently have had some weird audio issues where anything that was coming through from the computer. So it's like if we had a guest on, their audio was always like way too loud. If we were watching a video, the audio was way too loud. As far as a technical difficulty, that's probably the number one. Before that, we had a real hard time even getting people to be able to call in. Yeah. Because the old recorder I was using didn't work with the signal that it got. Mm-hmm. So like when it would bring the signal in, it would sound fine. But when it would put it back out into the recording, it was all like digital garbage. So we couldn't get guests on until I upgraded to a mixer.
God, we had all kinds of episodes that were lost because of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I've also noticed that in the last two episodes, when I watch them back, I am super low in the audio. I don't know if you guys caught that too.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
I was just super quiet.
To bump up the knob a little bit. It's because it sounds different to us through our headphones,
right?
Than it does when it's actually being streamed. So
right.
Unless somebody's like actively in the chat being like, "Hey, bump up his audio," like I won't. There's no way to know.
Yep.
That's fine. That's fine.
Gotcha. All right. So last and final question. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments. You want to read it?
I'll read it. What's the funniest thing that's happened during a podcast?
Right, I'm gonna go old school. So something that you guys might not have been able to know about. So we used to have this guest on named Teach.
She's the best.
Yeah, she was a natural for podcasts.
Dude, she's a natural for just about everything, but for sure she could have her own radio show.
Yeah, 100%.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we used to play this game before we started doing the crew game. We would play the 5-second rule. So it's like a deck of cards. It's got a question on it.
And then you
have to give 3. It's always like name 3 things is basically the gist of it. And there's a timer that comes with it. So you've got 5 seconds to answer.
That makes a funny noise. It goes meow whenever you turn it over.
And so she got a question, and she's always nervous anyway. She's always on edge about being judged and everything. And it's funny as hell. And so her question was to name 3 TV moms. And you hear that, and she's just sitting there, and you hear Beaver.
What? Beaver?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And she was trying to think of the mom from Leave It to Beaver.
Yes.
And he was watching the timer run out, and all she blurted out was just Beaver. And it killed the whole room. It was one of the rare times I've ever laughed so hard I thought I was in danger of passing out.
Oh my God, what the hell?
I can cover pork chop.
Yeah, she had another golden one. It was like, name 3 things you can cover in chocolate. And like the last one, she panicked and she was like, pork chops.
What? She's like, strawberries, cherries, and
bananas.
Pork chops.
To be fair, chocolate and pork chop, that doesn't sound too bad if you really think
There's a recipe online that she found.
Yeah, I had.
Oh wow! What?
I was like, I can't give you credit for that. And then she looked on her phone. She was like, chocolate covered pork chop, motherfucker.
Oh my God, that's funny.
That sounds legit good right now. I'm not gonna lie. I would totally be down to eat that. That was amazing.
That beaver once had me.
Yeah, me too. Like beaver, mom beaver.
Oh jeez,
that was amazing.
Oh, man. Good old days of the crew game.
Oh,
you should definitely do that more. That'd be a lot of fun.
We might.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know if any of you are still watching. If you guys have any questions, please leave them now before we decide to end the podcast, because we've already gone over an hour, our limit that we wanted to do for you guys, because the RH crew here got their own podcast to do in a bit. So if you guys have any questions, ask them now.
You have exactly 8 minutes to do so. Other than that, you're screwed.
Yep, just sounds about right. I wish I had some sort of soundboard. I could do some sort of timer. Or,
TikTok model.
Oh man, but this has been great. This has been fun. I had a blast. This is hilarious.
Yeah,
same here. Yeah, great time.
Laser Danger was asking, if we were gonna upload exclusive reactions to DTube and other platforms. That's the liquor, man. I've only been drinking Pepsi for the last hour because I was listen, before this, I got to the point where I went to use the restroom. I was like, damn, already?
Ruben's dead.
Like, this I can't have anymore. Yeah. So I've only been drinking Diet Pepsi for the last hour. And I'm like, this is not good.
Ruben's dead. Okay, we got questions then, guys.
Okay,
the answer
okay, here it is.
That.
He's right there.
If we record exclusive episodes, it will probably be on our Patreon, just because I like to blast as much stuff out to the other platforms, which is what we're doing now. Like, since I got Restream, like we just whatever we record, or whatever we stream just goes out to all platforms. So if we ever do anything exclusive, it'll probably be on Patreon. And also, I started an OnlyFans.
Did you really?
How much do you have? Wait a minute. How much?
OnlyFans?
I haven't set it up yet to that degree, but the account is there.
Could you let me on for free? Could you let me on for free?
I mean, if you want to see his bar,
there's some spicy.
There's some spicy stuff on there.
Guys, after what I've seen, nothing surprises me.
Nidge says he wants some Shorty bathwater.
It's out here. Yeah, right there.
That sounds incredible. That sounds incredibly salty, and it's just no. I'll pass.
Okay, Nidge says, RH Crew, when are we doing Cards Against Humanity? Also, Shorty, play Call of Duty.
Shorty does not play COD.
Yeah, I don't. I just
okay.
There are very few first-person shooters that I enjoy. Like I'd play Call of Duty on my own every now and then, but like it's just not something I'm into.
Gotcha.
Now, when the new Halo comes out, that might be a different story.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like it, but Duke and Nidge got me into it, and now I pretty much became a pro. I'm pretty much been doing better than them sometimes.
You're freaking higher level than me, dude. Shut up.
That don't mean nothing. That don't mean I'm a good player. That don't mean I'm a good player. I've just been playing a lot more. That's all it means.
Yeah, that I know you've been playing a lot more than me.
I don't got kids, and I'm single. No, I'm just kidding.
That helps. That helps.
I'm just kidding.
No, whenever
Courtney, he's single.
You've already been playing for 3 hours. I'm dropping you play for 1 hour, and I'm like, I gotta go to bed because I gotta get up, motherfucker.
Yeah, I was like, when are we gonna have a longer session where we play and kill shit?
I don't know.
Next question is
what about Cards Against Humanity?
That one.
We need to set that up real soon.
Yeah.
I would like to do that. Like we've been doing like a podcast episode, and then there's stuff we do kind of like after the show,
right?
Which is on like D Live and stuff. But we killed the YouTube so we can watch videos that might have like copyrighted music and stuff in there,
right? And that are a little more spicy.
Yeah, I would like to make it like a Cards Against Humanity, like as part of an after show one day. So
there you go.
We can do that.
Speaking of which, guys, me and Nidge actually have an idea to play this game, Death Battle, the card game, but we still have to figure out how it's gonna work because we wanna because obviously we can't physically play together. We want to try to set up a camera where you see us, and then how you see in those Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments where you see the cards on the floor. That's kind of how we wanted to do it, so that way you see us, that we're not cheating or whatever. But that's kind of what we wanted to do because Nidge got this for me, and this is what I want to do.
Gotcha. Okay. So
next question.
There's this one.
Is Courtney the best person you ever met online? Do you want me to be honest?
Oh dear.
Just say yes and just shut up. Move on. yes. Everybody say yes. Go on.
Courtney's fantastic.
Yeah, she's great.
Let's move on. That's my answer.
Move on.
Okay.
We probably have 50% less content without Courtney. So.
Yeah. She's a great fan.
Yeah, I would have 50% less fans without me. No, I'm playing with you.
Hey, Reuben, are you guys thinking about doing the RHCrew podcast or being on the RHCrew?
You should.
Yeah, I
would like to get some of our like Christy. She showed up for our last podcast, and she's super funny. She's really smart. It would be good to have her on one of our episodes, whether it be calling or show up. She even mentioned like getting a babysitter.
Yeah.
And coming by. So I don't know. That would be good. I would like to have some lesser known crew members come through and hang out too. And then of course, Blondie and Monk are like, freaking best folks to show up because they come in all the time and we get way more hits on our episode
when Blondie's here.
Yes.
Imagine that.
I don't know why.
But yes, we are definitely gonna have Reuben on. Hope to get Nidge on someday too.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Other than that, you'll probably have to deal with me unless they don't want me on. But other than that, that's fine.
Well, the way it is right now, since I use Restream instead of Streamlabs or StreamYard, we can only do, as far as I know, we can only do one person on video and then I think one person on audio. But Restream is supposed to be adding in the future where you can have multiple people on at one time.
Yeah.
So as soon as they do that, we can have more than one person on at a time.
Okay, right on.
Don't know what Nidge is meaning right here. Careful on Patreon, they are now targeted for copyright. I don't know what he means right there.
Yeah, they're now, even if it's on Patreon. Yeah.
They're responding to DMCA takedown requests a lot more.
Really?
Yeah. Thanks to people like Susie Lou.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Jordan Peterson had said something about that. He was making like $500,000 every year off Patreon, and he shut his account down because of some of the stuff that they were doing.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that just goes to show you. He's just like, he even showed like his fans, like, here I am canceling my account. I freaking took all the money out of the account and I'm done with these a-holes and I'm moving on to a different platform.
Yep. And then he got a benzo addiction and disappeared.
Yeah. Well, that's sad, dude. I need my dad back.
Wow.
All right, like, are you guys thinking about doing the Reaction Squad gaming like the crew play Call of Duty? Like, I'm guessing because how we play Call of Duty with Nidge on when he streams it. But I'm guessing he's asking you, like, we kind of referenced this before. You guys have your Twitch channel. You guys will start gaming on there soon more. So that kind of links to that, I'm guessing.
I don't know. I mean, I play like Nidge. He does. He'll be playing. He'll be like, "Play, what's up, man?" And be like, "Okay, all right," And then Ivan's there. Sometimes you're there, and we'll all get together and we'll play. And then, cause see, here's the thing. Like I did, like I think 1, maybe 2, like Twitches of me playing, And it like, you know, you, Ivan, and Nidge were, and I think Shorty kind of popped in and was like, what the hell's Duke doing? Ah, fuck it. I don't care about COD. And then he went on to something else. And so I was just like, you know, I wasn't getting a whole lot of traction from that. So for me, because dude, you know, it's difficult. I've got a 5-year-old that's like, he's got all the energy ever, you know, like he's basically a mini Goku. He just runs around. He's got all the energy in the world, and he's like, "What are you doing, Dad? What's this?" Blah 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 blah. You know, and it's hard for me to. It's hard for me to like focus and play because of where my gaming setup is. You know, I don't have my own. At one point in time, I had a nice little man cave. I don't anymore. So, you know, like where I play video games is in my living room. Everybody's like walking by, like, "Who are you talking to on the internet? What is going on in here?" I'm like, and then I got muted. Yeah. And one time like I was playing and I was like, "Mom, you need to do this, and I was like, "What? You talking to me?" I was like, "No, dude, I was talking to my mom." Hold on. Like, had to mute it.
I was like, after you just said, I'm like, because he wasn't clear who he was talking to. Is he talking to me? Or is he talking to someone up there?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, okay, I want to be clear. I just said mom. Let me be very, very clear. I don't live with my mother. All right.
Right.
My mom had a stroke 2 years ago, and I moved her in with me to make sure that I could keep an eye on her. All right. There. So I'm not living in my man's basement, you know. And no, Mom, that's my orange juice. It's got my name on it. That's not what I'm doing.
Bathroom.
Man, bathroom. I'm playing Minecraft. Get out of my room.
All right. Let's see. Next question. What guests you guys want to see on your podcast?
Oh, that's a very good question. Other than the people we just mentioned, yeah, God bless. I don't know. That's a really good question. For this type of podcast, I don't know. Maybe for the one where we can talk about other topics, maybe get the guys from like Revenge of the Sis on.
Oh, that would be interesting.
They're cool guys. I'd like to talk to them.
People from the Dick Show.
Yeah, people from the Dick Show. We used to have Asterios, and then he lost his mind.
I'm sure Fitz could actually. So sad too. I'm sure Fitz could actually try to get in contact with those guys and try to set up something for you guys.
Yeah, probably. Once we're ready for it, I'll talk to him about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen. If we take those guys on, we got to be on our A game.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like I won't even bring alcohol over that night.
Right.
Don't even take a sip of it.
I'm guessing this is referring to that question from Courtney. And they press F in the chat for the chocolate queen.
Chocolate queen.
And it says F. What?
What?
And oof. Well, still be able to. Oh, I freaking love this.
I'm reading through some of the comments.
Yeah, it's funny.
That's funny.
All right, let's see. Yeah, guys.
Are you guys thinking about using StreamYard?
Yeah.
Not right now. Not unless Restream falls through with their promise to add the feature to have multiple guests on.
Right.
Yeah, because even said, you can add more people on in the call, like 7 people.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right, let's see. Let me see any more questions. Just going through. I think that was about it.
Ivan has the noise gate issue. Ivan, aka, needs to mute between speaking. What does that mean? Oh, he means River. That means you. He means talk about you. I meant.
Wait, what? Someone needs to mute their mic. Wait, what? Someone needs to mute their mic.
Ivan, he meaning you, has the noise gate issue. Aka needs to mute between speaking. Is that really me?
I don't know. Anyway,
I can't tell the difference, man.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah,
I'm not an audiophile, so I don't know.
Courtney said, "How dare you?" Courtney said, "How dare you diss me?"
Oh, he said, "Oh, he means me."
Yeah, that's what I said. He meant you.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
What? Ivan?
And now Ivan's just gone.
Ivan, you alive? There he
He
is.
clean the damn kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, my dad's calling me to clean the damn kitchen, even though he's literally a room he's literally a room next to me.
You better get in there.
He's 74 years old, so I can't give him shit for it.
All right, but it looks like that's the last amount of the questions. So
I think it's a good time to wrap this up.
Yeah.
So, Duke, Shorty, thank you guys so much for being a guest on our show this time. Really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
It was a blast, man. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, I had a lot.
No
of fun.
problem, guys.
Great. Yeah. So as always, for even from now on, whenever we have a special guest on, link will be in the description down below for their channel. They also have a Twitch. Link is down there below as well. What time are you guys going live on your guys' YouTube channel?
Probably right after this. Like, we'll probably shut this off and then I'll start the intro for the other show.
So like 5 minutes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so
Okay.
yeah, you guys go catch them live right after this podcast, pretty much. So you guys go jump on over there, and I hope you guys enjoy their podcast. So, and thanks again, guys, for jumping on and being our first guest here on the Spinoff channel.
Absolutely.
Thanks, man. It was an honor.
Our pleasure, man.
I'm glad
Great
you
fun.
could be here, guys. So as we always say, guys, if you guys have anything you want us personally to react to for our channel or their channel, please leave it in the comment section down below. Put a post notification so you don't miss anything we do. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow us on our Instagram, Discord, well, depending on what we have, Discord, Instagram, Facebook, and all that bullshit. And we'll see you guys in the next podcast, what we do. So stay tuned for that.
Later, everybody.
Stay awesome.